I know you're tired. I know you've been giving everything you've got, and it still feels like you're not getting anywhere. I know there are days where it feels like you're fighting a battle no one else sees, and you're exhausted from carrying the weight alone. But listen to me. Don't give up. Not now. Not when you've already come this far. Not when you're closer than you think. You've survived too much to quit here. People don't realize how strong you are because they don't know the things you've had to push through. They don't know the nights you stayed up overthinking, the mornings you got out of bed when you didn't want to, the times you kept showing up when your heart felt heavy. That's strength. That's resilience. That's what got you this far. And it's what's going to get you through the rest. You might not see progress every day. Sometimes growth is silent. Sometimes healing happens underneath the surface. Sometimes life tests you before it blesses you. But just because you don't see changes doesn't mean nothing's happening. Think about where you were a year ago. You've changed. You've grown. You've survived situations you thought would break you. And now, you're still here, still fighting, still trying. That means something. You're allowed to feel tired. You're allowed to break down. You're allowed to wonder when things will finally get better. But you're not allowed to quit on yourself. You don't get to give up because the version of you from the past fought too hard for you to be here today. You don't get to give up because there's a future version of you who's waiting, happier, stronger, freer, and they need you to keep going. Everything you're going through right now is temporary. The stress, the confusion, the setbacks, the heartbreak, the frustration from trying so hard and not seeing results. None of that lasts forever. You can't let a temporary moment convince you that your entire life is stuck. It's not. Things can change quickly. Opportunities show up when you least expect them. Healing happens quietly. Breakthroughs happen suddenly. And your whole life can shift in one moment. But you'll miss it if you give up now. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't even need to move fast. You just need to keep going. One step, one breath, one day at a time. Progress isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just deciding to wake up and try again. Sometimes it's choosing not to quit, even when every part of you wants to. That's courage. That's strength. That's what makes you unstoppable. And don't forget, every person who ever did something meaningful wanted to give up at some point. Every successful person, every strong person, every inspiring story, they all have a moment where they almost walked away, but they didn't. And that made all the difference. You're allowed to rest, just don't quit. You're allowed to slow down, just don't stop. Take a break. Catch your breath, reset your mind, then get back up. Because your story doesn't end here. There are people you haven't met yet who will love you. There are moments waiting for you that will make everything you're going through right now make sense. There's a version of you ahead who will look back and be grateful that you kept going. You're building strength right now. You're learning things you'll need later. You're growing in ways you don't even realize yet. Don't throw that away because the journey feels heavy. You're stronger than you think. You're closer than you realize. And you're capable of more than you give yourself credit for. So please, don't give up. Not on your dreams, not on your future, not on yourself. Keep going. Keep fighting. Keep showing up. Because the moment you choose not to quit, that's the moment everything starts to change.